Hi, friends and family. This is Gina with Hope and Cope. Welcome to my channel. If you haven't been here before, I want to introduce myself. I am a person that has been affected by someone else's addiction. It came into my family late. It is my husband, and we were married for almost 25 years when his addiction occurred, and I talk a little bit about that in previous videos. I've never really, I don't think, tried to encompass the whole thing. That would be too long of a video. Maybe it needs to be a 10-part series. I don't know. But anyway, I survived to the point where I am now, and I feel like I learned a lot. And so I just wanted to be able to help other people with my journey. So that is what has brought me to start this channel. If you are here because of someone else's addiction, it doesn't have to be an addiction. I try to say someone else's lifestyle. When someone else's lifestyle choices have affected you in a harmful way, I feel like all of these tips can help with a variety of coping skills for things in our family that don't go well or don't go the way we wish they were going, and we have a lot of anxiety about that. I hope this is a place where you can get a lot of help. But the primary thing that I discuss is addiction, and all these things are just applicable to other scenarios. But today I wanted to talk to you about setbacks. So if I can keep this short, I'm going to talk to you about my setbacks and his setbacks. Or let's be a little more general, the person that's not the addict's setbacks and the person that is the addict's setbacks. So one thing I want you to know that I wish I had known when I first started this journey with my spouse is that almost inevitably, and I don't really know of anyone necessarily that this hasn't been the case, but there are going to be setbacks. So just be prepared that there are going to be setbacks. I remember when my husband went to his first rehab, and it was a 28-day rehab, I just thought he was going to come out and be better. And that just was not the case at all. And quite the contrary, I don't even know, and we've lost track of how many rehabs he's been in. And then if you count the long-term rehabs that he's been in, one for nearly a year, one for 3 months, one for 6 months. I mean, he has spent a lot of time in rehab. So I have mentioned in the past, for my own personal experience, rehabs, I'm not saying they didn't have their benefit, but they weren't the key to sobriety. In fact, if you're new and you've never seen my videos before, sadly the key to sobriety for us was a drunken driving accident where my husband is unable to seek substance on his own, and of course I don't enable him and bring it to him, so, and he doesn't ask me to. But anyway, so talking about setbacks, just be prepared. There will be setbacks. There's a certain point, if somebody gains sobriety or they get clean from drugs, there's the day that they don't go back. But up to that, there's probably been many steps where they thought they were going to try to get sober, or they thought they were going to try to walk away from their addiction, and then they couldn't. So I just want you to be prepared that there will be setbacks, and I want you to or be aware that there will be setbacks, and then be prepared of how to handle it the best you can. Of course, they do almost always take you on the blind side. For me, the way it happened was, at first I was completely blindsided. After a while, I could see the symptoms that were building, that were getting like 1, 2, 3, boom, 1, 2, 3, boom, and so I would try, in the beginning, I would try to say things to him about, you're missing meetings, or, you're getting off your regular schedule, or you're not, whatever you aren't doing your, you're not going to church, or, just, I don't know, multiple things I would see, little triggers, little steps, little pieces would fall apart, and then would fall the relapse. But regardless of whether I see it coming or I don't see it coming, I can't prevent it. So it's just part of their process. It's part of their journey. And so what I want to say to you is, you can be aware that they may come, likely, very likely, and you can be aware, you can be prepared when they come. So what I mean by that is, try to already have your strategy for yourself. What am I going to do if my person, whether it's your child, your parent, your brother, your sister, your spouse, maybe a dear friend, someone that their decisions affect you deeply, their choices interact with your life, or just your heartstrings are connected. It could be you're hearing about a family member that you love dearly, and they don't even live near you, but you're hearing of their struggles, and it's just really breaking your heart. So there's many ways we're connected to other people, even if they're not a daily part of our life and they don't live in our home. There's many ways that someone else's lifestyle choices really, really, really affect us. And we've got to learn, because we don't have the authority to take control of people unless we want to be crazy and like chain somebody in a room and lock them up and do criminal things. I think those are against the law. Unless we want to go plumb crazy and do things like that, we don't have the power to control somebody else. So my suggestion to you is just to be aware and then be prepared. When I say be prepared, I mean have a plan for yourself. A lot of times these things happen at big moments. So it's like, your son, your daughter's going to graduate. Well, then your spouse is going to act up. It's a birthday party. Somebody's going to act up. It's an anniversary. Somebody's going to act up. So for whatever reason, sometimes pleasant or celebratory events are triggers and cause setbacks. And sometimes it's sad things. The death of a family member could cause another member that has had a measure of sobriety, whether it's 2 months, 3 months, a year, longer, could set them back. So what you want to do is just have a plan for yourself, how you're going to do your own self-care, how you're going to keep first things first and keep your own side of the street clean. And then, yes, you grieve it. You acknowledge it. There's no benefit in ignoring or pretending that it's not occurring. And let yourself feel the feelings. Let yourself process the pain. But you can't allow someone else's poor judgment, someone else's poor decisions to cause you to lose your mind. And I have several videos on how to do the self-care and how to, try to detach and not focus on what someone else is doing. And I will try to maybe link one or two in the description below. I don't know yet how to make it like pop up here on the screen. I'm sure that's very simple, but I've not ever done it. So if I can, I can find them and put them in the description below. But just be aware. I think that's half the battle, is being aware. And then the other half of the battle is figuring out what now is going to be your strategy. What are you going to do in light of the situation, and how are you going to move forward to take care of yourself and to do the best you can under the new situation that you're in. Maybe you're all the way back to step zero, or back to ground zero, back to the starting line, whatever kind of analogy you want to make. It could be that that person just had a misstep and they're going to get right back into their recovery. That is great. And I have heard of people that, it was a real eye-opener for them, and they recognized what was going on and they didn't want to fall all the way back. And so they, were able to pick it up and move forward pretty quickly. So you don't have to think the worst, but just be prepared is all I'm trying to say. So just know that there will be setbacks. I just wish, and I feel like somebody tried to tell me when we were leaving that 28-day program, and they had a little talk with us spouses at the end. I could tell the guy could tell. Looking back, I can tell the guy could tell that I had no idea what I was in for. And I think he was trying to tell me to be prepared. And I just was not picking up what he was laying down. And that might have really helped me if I had been able to understand without being negative what he was trying to say. So that's what I'm doing here for you. I'm trying to say, be prepared, expect. You don't have to sit around and wait for it, but just be prepared that this is part of recovery, and a pretty normal part of recovery. And it doesn't mean that you're not going to get there. It just means there's ups and downs and hills and valleys. So I hope this was helpful to you. If you feel like it is, and if you feel like there's someone else that this material would be helpful to, please share this video. I would love for you to make a comment in the description below if you have a situation where there was a setback and how you handled it, and what benefit it was to you, and you've got something you could share with the community. That would be great. I'd love for you to leave that. Kind and thoughtful comments are always welcome. And if you feel like this material is helpful, I would love for you to subscribe to this channel. And then when I put out a video, I try to put one out every week. When I put out a video, it'll pop into your notifications. So thank you for watching. I want to just let you know, I pray every day for the people that watch my videos that they will be helpful to them. And so there is somebody in your corner, and there's hope always, and there's greater ability to cope with someone else's life choices that drive you crazy. And I'm here to help you with that. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.